All right. This is the next stream, and not only am I wearing a different shirt, I don't have any more hair from the last time that you've seen me because I've been trying to figure out what was going on with the bot, even though I knew that our event sub system worked, and I stressed out so much I lost my hair. Kappa. Anyway, so what turns out to be the problem is that we were subscribing to various events, at least I was, while testing this stuff. I subscribed to so many events over and over and over without ever unsubscribing to events. And so what happened was I ended up hitting a subscription maximum and I couldn't subscribe anymore. And it turns out that I hit the maximum right before I started the stream last time, on Monday, which it's Wednesday now. And so the bot wouldn't work, or the event sub part of the bot wouldn't work because I had exceeded the maximum number of repeat subscriptions. So the way that we fix this is we have to change around our logic for when we subscribe to events and also set up a system to where whenever we're done with our stream, we can submit a command that will unsubscribe from all of the events that we have until we have none left, and then we prevent ourselves from hitting that maximum repeat value. So the first thing that we need to do is to change around the order in which we do our logic whenever we are subscribing to events, because I was running into a secondary issue while testing this offline that sometimes whenever trying to subscribe, I would get a kickback saying that our access token was empty. And I knew it wasn't, but after doing some checking, it looked like the subscription logic right here was being run too quickly, but before our access token logic was being run. So there's a easy fix for that. And what we're going to do here is we're going to shift our event types to right above the access token, event, the call to get our access token. And then all we're going to do is once we are done with getting the access token right here in our callback, what we're going to do is we're going to just shift all of our logic for subscribing to events into this callback. And we're going to make each new call to subscribe to new events within the callback of the access token call. So we're making a call within a call. And so all this is doing is it's making sure that we have what we need first, in this case being the access token, before we move on to getting the subscriptions which need the access token in order to get that. And so what we're going to do next is we are going to set up a chat command, which only I'm going to use because I'm going to use this within a whisper. We're going to set up a chat command that at the end of stream, I can use this to unsubscribe to all of the events that we currently have set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up our chat message handler and we're going to go all the way to the bottom. Actually, first, what we're going to do is we're going to take our get goals command because most of it we're going to need. So we're going to just copy the entire get goals command. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to go all the way to the bottom and so right after the last command, which is delete goal, we're going to enter right here, paste this in. So this is going to give us currently a duplicate of our get goals chat command. So actually we can just back this up here like that. We're going to change this right here since we already have get goals further up. We're going to change this to end. Oh, sorry. Right, we're going to change this to end stream. So then what we're going to do is we are going to change this URL that we are requesting. Instead of getting my channel information, what we're going to do is we're going to request all of the the subscriptions that I am currently subscribed to with EventSub. And that address is this one. And so it's https api.twitch.tv/helix/eventsub/subscriptions. So we are making a GET request to this address, which is going to give us all of the event subs, all of the event sub subscriptions that we are currently subscribed to. And as usual, we need our API key and our access token that we generated earlier in order to get this information. Now, as far as this goes, what we're going to do is we are going to get rid of most of this logic. So we're going to take all of this, going to get rid of this, and we don't need that anymore. We're going to change this variable to subscribed events, and we're still just parsing the JSON body. And if you want, you can change this to subscribed events, and which is going to console log out all of the events that we have, but we don't need that right now. So we're just going to comment that out. We're just going to leave it right there in case we need to do some troubleshooting and get some extra data from ourselves. So the way that this works is we are going to take all of the data. So what's being returned from this is a JSON object, an array of JSON objects that has all of the events that we are subscribed to. And within each of those events is a ID, a specific ID that is specific to the event we subscribe to that changes every time we subscribe to it. And so what we're going to have to do is for every one of these subscriptions, we need to go through and make another call to unsubscribe to that specific ID. What we're going to do is to be able to do that, we're going to do a for loop. So we're going to, as you've seen many times, we're going to loop through all the data points. So in this case, we're going to loop through all the JSON objects within the subscribed events data array, and that's a string. So dot length. And then we're going to just go through each one. And for each one of these, what we're going to do is we are going to make another request. We're going to do another request using the request API, which I still need to find a replacement. I'm pretty sure Axios is going to work for this, but I still need to check it. So what it is, we're going to make another request here. So we're going to need a JSON object, and we're also going to need a callback function. So the callback function, as usual, needs a error parameter, a response parameter, and a body, like we've done with previous iterations of these calls. So then the JSON object that we need, going to need a URL, and that URL is actually going to be the same one that we did earlier. So we're going to go to the API, that's DB Helix EventSub subscriptions, but we're going to add in a query parameter with the ID of the event that we are unsubscribing from. And so we're getting that ID from the subscribed events, the data object at the current position, and then ID. That's how that works. And then the method that we're using this time is it's not going to be a get or a post. It's going to be a delete request, which seems appropriate for what we're doing here because we are asking Twitch to remove a subscribed event from the bot's current list of subscriptions. So then for our headers, we are going to use the same things we've been using before. So we're going to need our client ID, and that's going to come from our configuration and the API key. And we also need the authorization. And the authorization just comes from, this is a bearer token. So we need to type it as bearer in space. And the access token that we generated at the beginning of the program. And let's see who's subscribed. And Denison, thank you so much for that 23-month sub, sir. very much appreciated. It's super generous of you, my dude. And that's all we need to make the request. So in the callback function, all we are really going to do is we're going to just put in the issue conditionals saying that if we get an error, we are just going to console log the error. Just nice and simple. So otherwise, what we're going to do is we are going to put out another console log saying that we are unsubscribed from the current event. What we're going to do that is we're going to say subscribed events data at the current position, and we're going to say type instead of ID to say what we unsubscribed from, and then just unsubscribed. And that's it. So other than this is actually everything that we need, or at least it should be, in order to get our bot to work. So the test for this is going to be to actually turn on the bot and see if we are getting actual events. What we're going to do is we're going to, let's see, we're going to cd into the source folder as per usual. And then we are going to start bot, and we are verifying some webhooks, so that means we did subscribe to some events. Chat, I need your help. I'm going to refund your channel points, okay? So someone please redeem a channel point reward. I don't care what it is. Like I said, I will redeem your channel points. Sorry, I will refund your channel points. I'll give it back to you. But I need someone to redeem a channel point reward, if you would be so kind. A few moments later, and we're not getting information. Okay, why? Hold. We did get information. Hog. So we just got a real-time event. We just got a real-time notification for a channel point reward almost immediately from doing it in chat. This is big because what this means is that we can start doing things with our channel point rewards beyond just, something happens and then I need to do it and then complete the channel point reward. We can actually have channel point rewards that will make something happen on the stream. So, meaning that I can pop something up on the stream. We can potentially, I don't know this yet, don't hold me to it, but maybe we can also do sound commands, maybe, with channel points and all kinds of different stuff. I'm also curious. Now let's try a channel point reward that requires you to type something in. So I think the channel point reward for the Google Translate Butcher thing requires you to type something in. So that one should give me different data. Okay, so now we're just waiting to get the event. Okay, we already have the event. Okay, yep. So yes, and then we can get the user input right here. So right there is our user input. So that means we can also take in events for channel points that will require require the user to type something in, and we can also show that on the screen. Interesting. There is so much that we can do with this. The poggies are real. So now the test is going to be if I can unsubscribe from events. So I'm going to put into the chat in the stream. Nice. And then right here, you can see on the screen that we unsubscribed from all 3 events that we subscribed to. So if you were to redeem another channel point reward right now, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't show up right now because we have unsubscribed from all of the events. So the way that this works is as soon as we start the bot, it will subscribe to all of the events that are listed up here. So right now we're only subscribing to 3 events. So channel points, redemptions follows, and whenever the channel itself is updated, meaning that whenever we change the stream title or we change the game or the category that we're playing in, it'll give me some data for that. And so what this does for us is it allows us to just auto subscribe to all the things that we want to subscribe to. And then we can just continue working as if, you know, we, just have everything going from the outset. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the Twitch documentation for event subs here. We're going to go through and we're going to figure out which events we want to subscribe to, add that to that array, restart the bot, and then we can just leave the thing running for the rest of the stream. So I'll go ahead and do that and end the video here. And in the next video, we are going to actually take all of the data that we're getting from these events. So whenever we get an event, and instead of just showing it in the console like we're doing now, what we're going to do is we are going to take these events and do something with them. Probably something more specific to showing something on our overlay using the sockets that we set up previously in other videos. So do look forward to that.